The internet has become part of our lives. Every day, we open emails without thinking, click links sent by strangers, watch live streams, visit websites we've never seen before. Most of the time, nothing happens. But sometimes, one click is enough. Not because of hackers, not because of viruses, but because some places on the internet were never meant to be found. Tonight's stories are completely fictional, but each begins with something millions of people do every single day. By the end of this video, you may think twice before opening your next notification. David wasn't the type of person who believed internet ghost stories. He worked from home as a graphic designer, spending nearly 10 hours every day in front of 2 monitors. Spam emails, fake invoices, phishing attempts. He'd seen them all. Deleting suspicious messages had become second nature. So when a new email appeared in his inbox at exactly 3:33 a.m., he almost ignored it. The strange part wasn't the missing sender. It wasn't even the blank preview. It was the subject line. It simply read, "Tomorrow." David frowned. There was no attachment, no body text, just one line. 8:14 a.m. You'll spill your coffee. He laughed. What kind of weird prank is this? He deleted it, then went back to sleep. The next morning, at exactly 8:14, David carried a mug of coffee toward his desk. His phone vibrated. He glanced down. His foot caught the edge of the rug. The mug slipped. Coffee exploded across the floor. He froze. The time on his phone, 8:14. For a moment, he remembered the email, then shook his head. Coincidence. Nothing more. Around noon, another email appeared. Again, no sender. Subject, today. Inside, one sentence. 1:02 p.m. Your neighbor will knock 3 times. David rolled his eyes. He deleted it without reading anything else. At 1:02 p.m., knock, knock, knock. Exactly 3 knocks. His elderly neighbor stood outside. I'm sorry to bother you. My internet isn't working. David felt a chill run through him. That evening, he searched his trash folder. The email was back. Unread. Exactly where it had been before. He permanently deleted it. Emptied the recycle bin. Restarted his computer. Gone. Or so he thought. At 7:45 p.m., a notification appeared. New email. No sender. Subject. You keep deleting me. David's smile disappeared. Inside were only 2 lines. Deleting changes nothing. Read tomorrow's message. Sleep became impossible. Every sound in the apartment felt louder. Every notification made him jump. He convinced himself someone had hacked his email. So he changed passwords, enabled 2-factor authentication, logged out everywhere, bought antivirus software, even created a brand new email account. The next morning, the first message waiting in the new inbox read, "Good morning, David." His blood turned cold. No one knew that address. No one. The email contained another prediction. 11:37 a.m. Someone wearing a yellow jacket will ask you for directions. He refused to leave home. He locked every door, closed every curtain, turned off his phone. At exactly 11:37, his apartment buzzer rang. The security camera showed a young woman wearing a bright yellow rain jacket. She looked into the camera. "Excuse me, can you tell me where Building C is?" David didn't answer. She eventually walked away. His breathing became shallow. The emails kept coming. Every few hours, every prediction came true. A package arriving late. A power outage lasting exactly 4 minutes. A bird crashing into his window. A friend calling after months of silence. Nothing was wrong. Nothing dangerous. Just impossible. After nearly a week, the predictions changed. The next email read, Friday, 10:16 p.m. Do not open your apartment door. David stared at it for hours. At 10:16, someone knocked. Slowly, 3 times. He didn't move. The knocking stopped. Silence. Then, his phone buzzed. Another email. Good choice. He opened his security camera recording. No one had been outside. The hallway remained completely empty. Yet the knocking had been loud enough to shake the walls. Fear turned into obsession. David contacted his email provider. Nothing. The messages didn't exist on their servers. He hired a cybersecurity expert. The expert examined every device. Laptop, phone, tablet, router, everything. Nothing unusual. The expert finally laughed. You're imagining this. As he packed his equipment, A notification appeared on David's phone. The expert looked at the screen. His smile faded. Who sent that? David slowly turned the phone toward him. No sender. Only one sentence. Tell your guest to leave before 4:18. The expert checked his watch. 4:17. He suddenly looked uncomfortable. I actually should go. He left without another word. David never heard from him again. The next message arrived after midnight. It contained no prediction, only a photograph. David stared at it in disbelief. It showed his apartment building, taken from across the street. His bedroom window glowed in the darkness. Someone had photographed his home. That same night, he rushed outside. The street was empty. No footsteps, no cars, no people, only silence. Days passed. The predictions became personal. Don't answer your mother's call. He ignored it. Hours later, she called again, crying. She had accidentally dialed the wrong number earlier. Nothing terrible had happened. But why had the email known? Don't sit in chair 4 at the cafe. He ignored the warning. Moments later, the ceiling light above chair 4 crashed onto the table, shattering glass everywhere. People screamed. David barely escaped. He began obeying every message, no matter how ridiculous. If the email said stay home, he stayed home. If it said avoid a street, he walked another way. His life slowly stopped belonging to him. The email made every decision. Then, one Monday morning, the final message arrived. The subject simply read, "The last prediction." Inside, only one line. Thursday, 9:41 p.m. You will willingly leave with the man behind you. David spun around. No one. He laughed nervously, deleted the message, shut the laptop, locked every door, covered every window. Thursday finally arrived. At exactly 9:40 p.m., his apartment was silent. He held a baseball bat, heart pounding. Nothing happened. Then, his computer powered itself on. The monitor lit up. One sentence appeared. He's here. David slowly turned around. The apartment was empty. He laughed. I knew it. Then, someone knocked. 3 slow knocks. David walked toward the door, unlocked it, opened it. The hallway security camera later showed him stepping outside. Then, walking calmly down the hallway, as though someone was beside him. But the footage showed only David. He occasionally nodded, even smiled, like he was having a conversation. He entered the elevator. The doors closed. He was never seen again. Police searched for weeks. No signs of forced entry. No fingerprints. No ransom. Nothing. Only David's apartment remained exactly as he'd left it. Except for one thing. His computer. Still on. Still connected to the internet. Displaying one unread email. Its subject line simply read, "Tomorrow." 3 years before he vanished, Ethan Brooks believed he was only one viral video away from changing his life. Every evening after work, he transformed the tiny spare bedroom of his apartment into a streaming studio, a cheap webcam, a microphone held together with tape, 2 secondhand monitors, and a faded neon sign behind his chair. His audience wasn't impressive. Some nights he had 3 viewers, other nights, none. Still, he streamed every night at exactly 11 p.m. He refused to quit. One rainy Tuesday, something changed. When Ethan started his stream, the viewer count instantly became 1. He smiled. Hey, thanks for stopping by. No reply. The username was strange. Watching always, the viewer stayed for the entire 4-hour stream, without saying a word. The next night, the same thing happened. Exactly 11 p.m. 1 viewer. Same username. Same silence. Night after night. No matter what Ethan streamed, games, reaction videos, just chatting, that single viewer never missed a broadcast. It became almost comforting, until the comments started. One Friday, after nearly 3 weeks, a message appeared. Watching always. You should fix the kitchen light. Ethan laughed. Yeah, I know. It flickers all the time. He assumed the viewer had noticed it during a previous vlog. Then another comment appeared. No, it's flickering right now. Ethan stopped smiling. He slowly turned toward the apartment hallway. The kitchen was out of view from the stream. But the light really was flickering. His chat exploded. Well, not really. There was still only 1 viewer. Only one person typing. Watching always. Don't look behind the refrigerator. A chill spread across Ethan's body. He forced himself to laugh. Nice try. He muted his microphone. Walked into the kitchen. Nothing looked unusual. The refrigerator stood against the wall, exactly where it had always been. He almost moved it, but something stopped him. Instead, he returned to the stream. The next comment appeared immediately. Good choice. For the rest of the night, the viewer remained silent. Ethan ended the stream early. He barely slept. The following evening, he decided to test something. Before going live, he unplugged his webcam, started the stream. The camera feed was completely black. He smiled. If someone's somehow watching through my camera, this should stop it. Viewer count 1. Username watching always. Then, a new comment appeared. The camera on your desk isn't the one I'm using. Ethan's smile disappeared. He searched every room. Smoke detector, air vents, picture frames, power outlets. He found nothing. No hidden cameras. No microphones, no trackers, nothing. Over the next week, the comments became more personal. You forgot to lock your balcony door. He checked. It was unlocked. _ Your phone battery will die in 30 seconds. Exactly 30 seconds later. Black screen. Don't answer the next phone call, his mother called. He ignored it. She texted minutes later. Wrong number. Sorry. Ethan stopped telling himself it was coincidence. Someone knew things they couldn't possibly know. His viewers slowly increased. 5, 10, 20. People found his terrified reactions entertaining. They assumed it was an elaborate horror roleplay. The comments filled with laughing emojis. Nobody believed it was real. One night, Watching Always wrote something different. Turn around. Ethan ignored it. The message repeated. Turn around. Again. Turn around. Again. Turn around. The rest of the chat spammed it too, laughing, encouraging him, thinking it was scripted. Heart racing. Ethan slowly turned his chair. The room behind him was empty. He laughed with relief. See? Nothing. Then his chat exploded. Not with one viewer, with all of them. Who's standing in the doorway? Ethan froze. He looked back at the monitor. Hundreds of comments, all saying the same thing. He spun around again. Nothing. No doorway. No figure. Nothing at all. When he faced the monitor again, the doorway behind him on the stream was empty. People clipped the moment, uploaded it everywhere. Some claimed compression artifacts, others insisted they had clearly seen a tall black silhouette. Frame-by-frame analysis couldn't agree. Some frames showed nothing, others seemed to show someone. Ethan wanted answers, so he moved. New apartment, different city, didn't tell anyone, didn't update social media. He only announced he was taking a break. A month later, he returned. Different room, different furniture, different internet provider, different webcam. He pressed start streaming. Viewer count, 1 watching, always. His heart sank. The first comment arrived. Nice apartment. The bedroom is bigger. Ethan whispered, how? Then came another. You forgot something in the hallway closet. He stared toward the hallway. He hadn't opened that closet since moving in. Slowly, he walked over, opened the door. Inside was a cardboard box left by the previous tenant. He'd never noticed it. Inside the box, only one object, an old webcam. Its lens pointed directly toward him. The cable had been cut years ago. It couldn't possibly work. Yet, its tiny red recording light was glowing. Ethan ripped it from the box, smashed it against the floor, returned to his desk. His chat was waiting. Watching Always typed, that wasn't the camera. Days passed. His appearance changed. Dark circles, shaking hands. He barely slept. He stopped leaving the apartment. Everywhere he looked, he felt watched. One night, the stream became strangely quiet. No comments, no donations, nothing. Only the single viewer. After almost an hour, Watching Always finally wrote, "You're almost ready." Ethan swallowed hard. Ready for what? The reply came instantly. To watch yourself. Every light in his apartment went out. The stream stayed online. Emergency power from his PC kept running. The monitor flickered. Then, without warning, his own live stream disappeared. Instead, the broadcast showed security camera footage. Not from his apartment building, not from outside, but from inside his bedroom, high in the corner of the ceiling, looking down. Ethan stared at the screen. The camera slowly zoomed in. He looked directly into it. He whispered, "That's impossible." He had never installed a ceiling camera, never even owned one. The footage wasn't delayed. It was live, watching him, from somewhere inside the room. Then, the stream ended. No error, no disconnect, just offline. The next morning, his YouTube channel was gone. Every video, every live stream, every clip, deleted. His social media disappeared too. Friends couldn't contact him. Neighbors told police they hadn't seen Ethan leave. His apartment was locked from the inside. His computer remained on. The streaming software was still open, waiting, as if the broadcast had never ended. Investigators recovered one corrupted video file. Most of it was static. The final 7 seconds were clear. The footage showed Ethan sitting at his desk, smiling calmly, looking at someone standing beside the camera. Then he quietly said, "I'm ready." The recording ended. No one ever found Ethan Brooks. But years later, people browsing abandoned streaming websites occasionally report finding an offline channel with no name, no profile picture, no videos, only a message beneath the player. One viewer waiting. Ryan Patel was the kind of college student who loved exploring forgotten corners of the internet. Not the dark web, not illegal websites, just abandoned forums, old blogs, and pages that had been left untouched for years. He called it digital archaeology, while everyone else scrolled through social media. Ryan searched for websites that time had forgotten. One Saturday night, around 1:27 a.m., he stumbled across a decade-old discussion forum. The last post had been made 11 years earlier. Most of the links were broken, except one. It had no title, no description, only a single line of text. "If it opens, don't refresh." Ryan smiled. Someone had a good imagination. He clicked it. The page loaded almost instantly. A completely black background, no logo, no menus, no advertisements, only a white countdown timer. 59:59. The numbers immediately began counting down. Ryan frowned. "What is this?" He searched the page. No source code, no copyright, no domain information. Almost as if the website didn't exist. Then, a sentence appeared beneath the timer. "Welcome back, Ryan." His smile faded. He had never visited the site before. At least, he was certain he hadn't. Assuming it was using browser cookies, he opened an incognito window. The website still knew his name. He switched to another browser. Same result. He tried his phone. Again. "Welcome back, Ryan." A second line slowly typed itself beneath the first. "You're older now." Ryan leaned back in his chair. His room suddenly felt much quieter. He checked the URL. It hadn't changed. No certificates, no server information, nothing. Just an impossible address made entirely of random symbols. Then the timer reached 58 o'clock. A new sentence appeared. "Your first pet was named Oscar." Ryan stopped breathing. Oscar had been his dog. He died when Ryan was 8. There were no photos of Oscar online, no social media posts, nothing. Only Ryan's family had known. He slammed the laptop shut, heart pounding. This has to be a prank. After a few minutes, he reopened it. The website was still there. The timer now read 54:12. It had continued counting while the laptop was closed. Ryan unplugged the Wi-Fi router, no internet. The browser should have displayed an error. Instead, the timer continued, second by second. He shut the laptop down completely. The screen went black. 5 seconds later, it turned itself back on. The browser reopened automatically. Same page, same timer. Now showing 53:01. His phone vibrated. A notification. The exact same website had opened by itself. No browser, no app, just the countdown. Then his tablet lit up. His smart TV. Even the display on his gaming console. Every screen in the apartment showed the same timer. Ryan yanked every power cable from the wall. Darkness. Silence. Until his smartwatch buzzed. The timer continued on the tiny screen. At 45 o'clock, another message appeared. "You still have time," Ryan whispered. "Time for what?" The page answered immediately. To remember, he called his best friend Marcus. Trying to stay calm, Ryan explained everything. Marcus laughed. "Dude, You've been studying too much. Ryan held his phone toward the laptop. Look, Marcus suddenly went silent. How does it know my name? Ryan frowned. What? On Marcus's screen. The message wasn't about Ryan. It read, Welcome back, Marcus. Marcus hung up instantly. Ryan never heard from him again. His number became disconnected the next morning. The countdown reached 30 o'clock. New text appeared. Do you remember the hallway? Ryan didn't. At least, he didn't think he did. But as the words lingered on the screen, a strange memory surfaced. A long white hallway, no doors, no windows, just endless fluorescent lights. He had dreamed about it as a child. Or had he? The website displayed an old photograph. Ryan, age 6, standing in front of his elementary school. The photo had never been digitized. It had stayed in a family album for years. Someone, or something, had scanned it. The timer kept falling. 20 minutes. 15. 10. Ryan drove to the nearest electronics store. He left every device at home. No laptop, no phone. Nothing. As he entered the store, every television on display suddenly changed. Black screen. White timer. Employees stared in confusion. Customers began recording with their phones. Those phones instantly displayed the same page. People screamed. Some dropped their devices. Others ran outside. Ryan fled before anyone could stop him. He borrowed a stranger's phone. Without touching anything, the browser opened automatically. 0912. The message beneath it read, Running only makes the timer easier to hear. Ryan finally contacted the police. 2 officers arrived at his apartment. One of them picked up the laptop. What exactly are we looking at? Before Ryan could answer, the officer's body camera beeped. Its screen displayed the countdown. The second officer checked his patrol tablet. Same website. Neither officer spoke another word. They quietly placed the laptop back on the desk, turned around, and left. Their report was never filed. 5 minutes remained. Ryan barricaded every door, covered every screen, wrapped electronics in blankets. It didn't matter. The timer now appeared on reflections, in the microwave door, on the black screen of a switched-off television. Even in the dark glass of his bedroom window, every reflective surface showed the countdown. 01 o'clock. The room became unnaturally quiet. Even the sounds from outside disappeared. No cars, no wind, no distant voices. Only the ticking of invisible seconds. Ryan whispered, What happens at 0? The website answered, You log out. 0010. Ryan closed his eyes, covered his ears, counted backwards. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Nothing happened. Ryan slowly opened his eyes. The timer had vanished. The page was completely black. He sighed with relief. Then, one sentence appeared. Thank you for returning. Every light in the apartment turned on. Every device restarted at once. Then, everything went dark again. The next morning, Ryan's apartment was empty. His wallet remained on the table. His car was still parked outside. His college backpack sat beside the front door. There were no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints except his own. No security footage of him leaving. It was as if he had simply stopped existing. Months later, cybersecurity researchers attempted to investigate the mysterious website after reports spread across internet forums. They found nothing. No domain registration. No server. No archived copies. No cached pages. According to the internet, the website had never existed, yet every investigator involved in the search quietly resigned within weeks. None of them ever explained why. Even stranger, Ryan's online accounts remained active. His email occasionally sent blank messages to random people. His gaming profile appeared online every night at 1:27 a.m. His cloud storage slowly filled with new files. Every file contained the same black image. When the image was brightened, only one thing could be seen: a long white hallway, stretching into endless darkness. At the very end, a computer monitor glowed softly. Waiting. Its screen displayed a single message. Next visitor connecting. _closing. Some websites steal your data. Some steal your passwords. And some, according to tonight's fictional stories, steal something far more valuable. If you enjoyed these fictional horror stories, leave a like, Subscribe for more weekly nightmares, and let me know in the comments which story disturbed you the most: the email, the live stream, or the website. Until next time, be careful what you click, because not every page on the internet wants you to leave.